What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Jedi Survivor Amazon exclusive pack with Cal Kestis, Turgle, and Skoova. So this pack looks really cool. So we get another Cal Kestis. Not that that really matters. It is cool though. It does come with his alternate designs that you can do throughout the game, where he comes with the mullet and like mustache, like handlebar mustache there. So that's pretty cool. We get another design for BD1, so in the different colors there, and then we get the different lightsaber designs that Cal uses throughout the game. That's cool that they did include the different hilt designs. And then we get two new characters though, of Turgle, which is this big frog guy, which is pretty fun. He's a pretty annoying character throughout the game, just talks a big story and stuff. It always gets in trouble. And then we have Skoova Stev, which is almost like Skoova Steve, but Skoova Stev, a little guy down there at the bottom that is just a fisherman you meet in the game as well. So pretty cool, mostly to get those two additional characters. I don't care too much for the Cal, but it is cool that they did at least include the mullet design for Cal with this. So a pretty cool pack overall for this. So let me get that open out of the box and we'll take a look at it together. So we'll start off with Cal Kestis, who of course we've already went through all his story and everything, so won't have to do that again. This is just a different variant version of Cal, because of course if you didn't know, throughout the game you get all sorts of different cosmetics and things you can switch and customize up throughout the game that you want to do. So this I assume is just an alternate look for Cal. Of course still looks good. Looks like the face maybe scan has got a little bit better. I'll of course show you that original one, especially from the Jedi Survivor game, so where he's a little bit older and a little bit different design to him stuff. It still looks good. It does look like Cameron Monaghan, maybe not perfect, but still pretty decent there. I love that they gave him like the beard design, so getting all his orange or brown color hair there with that nice scar across the nose as well, so it looks pretty good. Then his haircut there, not really sure what's going on. It's kind of like a little bit longer on top and swept to the side, but still looks pretty flat, almost like he's made to wear a helmet or something, but doesn't come with one. So not crazy with that like hair design, but doesn't look horrible. It's just not the like best design overall. And then we get his outfit, which is very similar to the one we got with the first figure. Still has like the same like undershirt design and more of this whitish like off-white cream color that has like the button design, so like we see Han Solo wearing everything, not too different from that. But then just has this blue vest on over the top, which is decent. That is something different there with that blue vest design. Same sort of armband, just looks like maybe more color design to it, and same sort of belt designs and pocket and straps coming off to the side to hold the gun. So that's all relatively similar. Again, colors just change between the two, as well as pants, same pant designs again in a different color. These look more like a dark gray, maybe supposed to be black, not sure. And then down to the boots again, same boot design, just in a different color where they're more gray this time, and almost like a nice like gold trim around the top of them and stuff. So just mostly reuse of that old figure, just switched out the head design and stuff, put on this vest instead of like the vest design he was wearing before, but still looks pretty decent overall. Now, movement-wise, the head will twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so not too much range in the neck, unfortunately. Shoulders will come up to 90. Does have a butterfly joint, at least. I'll move back and forth and rotate around. Get the single elbow joint to 90 with rotation. Wrist twist all the way around and has the hinge up and down hand there. Then we get the ab crunches, mostly just at the waist, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Then we get the single knee joint back to 90 with rotation in that as well, and then down to the foot will rock back and forth and twist side to side. So decent movement, especially for the stars with our single knees and elbows and everything, so nothing surprising there. Works about as I would expect for that. And then of course we do get a number of accessories for this version since it's more deluxe. But before we do, I do want to show you our last version before we change too many things. So here's that old Cal. So like I said, you can definitely see the outfit design stuff is very similar. Like a lot of it's just complete reuse, just changed up the colors this time. Just like I said, switched out the vest for what he's like the standard design in the game to like one of the alternate designs you can give to him. And then different head designs. Again, there's that one, which isn't bad. Like I can still see Cameron Monaghan, but this one I think looks so much better, more realistic. This looks like a cartoony version of him, but you can see the different hairstyles and everything there. Of course, still comes with his lightsaber and gun and all that, so very similar between the two. Like I said, just changed up the colors and designs like you can throughout the game. But one thing I love most about this version of the Cal is that he comes with the additional head with the mullet and handlebar mustache, so that looks cool. So get the short hair on top that's sort of spiked up and longer hair in the back mullet style, and then the handlebar mustache to go along with it is just really cool. So that's the thing that makes this figure awesome. So there's Cal with that head, and that is just incredible. So definitely we'll be leaving that head on this figure, and heck, we could probably just take this head and put it on the old figure just to have a better looking head on that one, so probably do that. But with Cal, he comes with a number of lightsabers throughout the game. You get, I believe they're called stance stances. So it's just different use of your lightsaber. You have your standard lightsaber. You can have 2 lightsabers, 2 handheld. You have a double blade lightsaber like Darth Maul. You can have your lightsaber blade as well as a gun, and then a heavy blade, I think is what it's called. It's just a more powerful lightsaber. So you get different options, and this comes with pretty much all those. Now, unfortunately, what's boring about this is that we just get white lightsaber blades, so kind of boring that this, and of course, against the background, you won't really notice it too much. So you get 2 lightsaber blades here that we can use throughout the different versions. So we can have just his normal standard lightsaber, so just that, so just the normal standard one there. Then we can have the double, which will go, and I guess they took that out. We can have the double, at least I assume that's what this is supposed to be in the game. You don't really notice it being this small, but it's like a real small version. So you can have those 2. Obviously, we can have him dual wield with both of those. Like I said, I hate that they're white because I don't want to put them in his hands because you won't really notice them. But you get the double lightsaber blade there. So like Ahsoka had the shorter blade at one point and stuff, so you get that as well. Then we can do the double bladed, so we can obviously take both of these and put them in here. And again, it's like Darth Maul design, so you can have the double bladed lightsaber like that. Like I said, there's also, I guess it's called a cross guard is what it's called. So you get this one that has a cross guard design on it. So it's supposed to be like a big heavy blade, like an old time medieval sword that was like a big long sword. So you'd have this as well. So it's got a longer handle and stuff, and it has more damage. That's the thing with each one of these. It gives you more bonuses. Like this one has the heaviest damage range, but it's also the slowest. And like I think the 2 separate lightsabers are maybe the fastest. The double blades in the middle and has best defense and stuff. So each one has their own sort of range and stuff. And then our last one that we get, which of course we got with like the last Cal as well, is just the standard lightsaber as well as his gun that he gets in the game, which is an LW896 blaster. So he gets that from Bode in the game. So with that, so maybe just go and put that into his hand. So I wanted to go with a different design for this Cal since I gave the last Cal the gun and lightsaber as well. And in the game, when I played it, I always used the crossguard version just because it did the most damage. And so I was able to learn how to parry and stuff and be able to kill people a lot faster using that. But with Cal having the mullet and the handlebar mustache, I feel he needs the gun design. It feels better with his look there. So I'll go ahead and just give him that. So I'll have the lightsaber and gun design, which is pretty cool. And then he also comes with BD, which of course we've had BD multiple times as well. So with this one, that's still in the mostly all white color, but has blue designs on it, so on his head, a little bit there on the side, on the chest, legs, and everything. So with that, and just to show you, the last Cal came with this version of BD, so different design with a lot of reds and stuff. So just nice that we get in the different designs for BD, because just like everything else in the game, you can customize BD one as well to get different designs. So that is really cool for Cal. Love that design. Love that he came with the different lightsabers. Like I said, just stinks that they went with clear blades. Like I wish it'd give like different color designs and stuff. Hopefully we can maybe find some extra lightsaber blades that we have lying around or something and use them with these so we can give them different colors aside from the white. Like I said, that's the biggest downside to me, but love this design, especially with that additional head for Cal. And of course, with this pack, we also get more alien-like creatures that appear in the game. So first we have Turgle, which is a male frog-like resident of the planet Kobo that would tell embellished and dramatic stories to annoy anyone that would listen to him in Pyloon Saloon, and he would often get into trouble with the Bedlam Raiders, and of course throughout the game have to be saved by Cal multiple times. So he looks cool here, this nice design. Of course, new alien creature, at least I don't think we saw in any of those like Star Wars related stuff until this game, but looks pretty cool. Like I said, I always call him like a frog because that's the most similar thing of what he is. Has the 2 eyes over on the stalks here, so very snail-like of him there, but then his mouth, I say, kind of looks very froggish, and of course with him be the green and yellow designs with that, but you see it looks like he maybe has some teeth in there, and then a tongue as well, with his arms coming down to the side that transition his skin design into this more burnt orange color. He's got a belt around the waist with a gun, so he does have a gun at least, so he can help with some stuff, and there's the back of his body, and it looks very frog-like for him there. Going down his legs, which very similar to his arms, have some more that orange design, burnt orange, so we get a little bit there up at his thighs, and then the green, of course, transitioning down into the orange again, and he's got weird toes. So he got 4 toes there on his feet, and then probably 4 fingers as well. Yeah, it looks like 4 fingers there as well. So just a weird looking guy overall, but very cool to have in an action figure. Now, movement-wise, of course, his main body doesn't really do much of anything. His shoulders will come out to the side, so can come up to 90 there and rotate all the way around. Now, he does have some, like, more flimsy arms, like soft, so you can sort of bend them. I don't believe there's any bendy wire in it, though, or anything, but you can kind of just move it around a little, and then we get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. I think he may... I guess he doesn't even twist. I thought he'd twist at the midsection. Doesn't even twist there, but the hips will come up a little, so close to 90, and then out to the side there, and you get a little thigh twist you can get those legs adjusted. Again, similar to arms, no knee joints or anything. The legs are a lot stiffer, so you can't really bend them as easy. And then the feet will rock back and forth and twist side to side. So it's nice to get this nice big figure of Turgle and stuff. I feel one, he's probably bigger than what he should be. It's hard, at least in the game, he looked a little smaller. But it's weird to get a bigger figure like this and have such little limited joints where he just has the shoulders, hips, wrist, and ankles and stuff, and everything else is all solid. But it's still cool and works out pretty well there. And then he comes with his gun, so whatever sort of gun he has there. So that design, of course, obviously we can take it, stick it into the holster there, or we can put it into his hand. So there, Turgle has a gun now as well. Of course, with not being able to bend the elbows and stuff, he doesn't really hold on to it the best or anything. You just kind of have it straight out there from it and stuff and get his hand adjusted to make it look like he's holding it properly. But there we've got Turgle at least, which is pretty cool. And to go along with Turgle, we also get Skoova Stev, which of course, if you hear that name, you gotta think they took it from Adam Sandler's movie Big Daddy with Skoova Stev. But it looks pretty cool. He is a Melskavian that was a master fisherman. He developed a love for fishing at a young age, leading him to Kobo, a new world with hundreds of new fish for him to fish. And on Kobo, Cal encounters Stuva and convinces him to work as a tank cleaner in Pyloon Saloon. So as you go through the game, you find Skoova all over the place and kind of find different fish and stuff, and they'll go into a big tank in the saloon, and he's there eventually. So it looks pretty cool with this design. So you just get a little fisherman like diver guy. So he's got this nice diving helmet with probably breathing apparatus and everything. Love that they threw the little starfish on there. Kind of reminds me of Sandy from SpongeBob, but looks good. And then of course all the stores of like scuba stuff there on the back, which we can take off, so we can remove all that, which is pretty nice to see him there. Now body wise, he's not going to have much movements at all, but nice design. Looks very much like a snail once again with the design. Love all like the fur, like mustache design there on the front of him and stuff, and his little blue swimmers outfit. Love how he has the little flippers on his feet and stuff, belt around his waist. So not a whole lot of design to him. They definitely left out a lot of details and stuff, but painted some black on him here and there, but looks good for what he's got. Now moon wise, he just has looks like movements in his arms, so his arms will move in and out. Looks like they're on just a ball joint design there, so you get a little bit of movements like up and down and stuff, but I feel that's about it. Yeah, nothing else feels like it's moving on him, so pretty all solid there. So again, not a whole lot of details, but still just fun that they included him. We can put his diving suit back on, and then he comes with this. I assume it's supposed to be his fishing rod, but since it's all folded up like this, it's hard to tell. Of course, we can try and like take and just put this into his hand so he can hold on to it. So you can have him holding it just like that, but it does have a peg, and it does peg into his back, so there's a hold there that we can put it in. So you can just have it pegged in his back there, so sort of stored away for him there. So like I said, just fun to get Skoova Stev as well, just as Turgle. So 2 additional fun aliens that were in the game that we got in action figure forms now that I really like. Well, that's going to be it for our Star Wars Black Series Amazon exclusive Star Wars Jedi Survivor pack, where we got Cal Kestis as well as Turgle and Skoova Stev. Overall, a pretty cool pack. I wish there would be more customization stuff for Cal. Like, love that he came with the additional head, but it would be cool to have, you know, different like vest or outfit design, something that we could switch up as well. But really cool, he came with all the lightsaber hilts to do all the different stances he can do throughout the game, as well as getting Turgle and Skoova Stev, 2 new aliens added to the collection. So overall, this was a pretty cool pack. So let me know what you thought of it down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know that like and hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.